If you're deciding between an acoustic and a digital piano, I'll be happy to help you choose which one is best for you. We'll take a pretty comprehensive look at the advantages and the disadvantages of each so you can make the best decision for your own needs. Now, at the outset, two things can be said. First, there's just no substitute for the real thing. The beauty of tone and the powerful sound that a really high quality hand-built piano can produce can be overwhelming in all the best ways. Now, a digital piano, by contrast, will always remain just a simulation of an acoustic piano. Now, forgive the idiom, but digital pianos will forever play second fiddle. But that doesn't mean that they don't offer unique advantages of their own. Second, digital piano technology has reached the point where it's now possible for even professional pianists to do quote-unquote real work on them. For professionals, a digital piano isn't an alternative to an acoustic piano, but it can be a very useful supplement to one, and in some cases it can even be a lifesaver. Let's first consider acoustic pianos. For centuries, this was the only kind available. Acoustic pianos offer many advantages, some of which may be decisive. And first, this is the real thing. Acoustic pianos provide an authentic sound and playing experience that digital pianos simply strive to emulate. So the natural resonance, the touch, and the feel of an acoustic piano are ultimately only available on an actual instrument with real strings and hammers. There's also expert craftsmanship. Acoustic pianos are often handcrafted by skilled artisans, and this results in instruments that are not just functional, but they're beautiful works of art. The quality of materials and the craftsmanship can be seen, felt, and heard. They also have beautiful, authentic sound. So the sound of an acoustic piano is rich, dynamic, full of overtones that digital pianos still can't fully replicate. The way the sound resonates through the body of the instrument and into the room, the subtle nuances of timbre that can be produced by the fingers and the pedals, and also the organic quality of the tone, these are all hallmarks of an acoustic piano. Then there's dynamic range. Acoustic pianos offer a wide range of dynamics from the very softest pianissimo all the way to the most powerful fortissimo. And now this gives pianists a full palette of expressive possibilities. Then we could also consider the physical presence. An acoustic piano is not just an instrument, it's a statement piece. Its presence in a room can add elegance and gravitas, and it can become a central focus in any space, from your living room all the way to a concert hall. Then there's also the pedals to consider. The pedals on an acoustic piano, and particularly the sustain pedal, provide a level of control and responsiveness that's essential for subtle expression and more advanced playing. And there's the lasting value. A well-maintained acoustic piano can last for generations, literally for generations, and they even can increase in value over time sometimes. It can become a cherished family heirloom passed down from one generation to the next. Now let's consider some disadvantages of acoustic pianos. Now, first of all, they're more expensive. So the cost of an acoustic piano, of a good one, is significantly higher than that of a digital piano. A high-end acoustic piano may be 10 to 50 times more expensive than even a high-end digital piano, so this makes it a substantial investment that is just not accessible to everyone. They also need regular maintenance. Acoustic pianos need to stay in top condition, and in order to do so, you need your piano technician. So this includes tuning, voicing, occasional repairs, and all this adds to the overall cost of ownership. Then there's the climate to consider. Acoustic pianos are susceptible to changes in humidity and temperature, and this can affect the tuning stability and the overall health of the instrument. So if your piano is in too dry a room for too long, then its soundboard, the very heart of the instrument, risks cracking. This can permanently damage your precious instrument, or at the very least be extremely costly to repair. Now, a humidifier such as the ones by Venta, which Steinway and Bosendorfer and other piano manufacturers recommend, can maintain a healthy environment for your piano. Then there's the volume. Acoustic pianos are naturally loud, which can be a problem in shared living spaces. So extended practice sessions could annoy family members or the neighbors, and prolonged exposure to high volumes might even affect your hearing, so you need to be careful. Then there's the space to consider. Grand pianos in particular require a lot of space. A concert grand is 9 or more feet in length, and this one is 9.5 feet long and wider than a standard piano because it has all these extra keys in the bass. So this makes a large piano, a large grand piano, pretty impractical for smaller living spaces. There's also size and weight. So the size and weight of an acoustic piano make it very difficult to move. So a concert grand can weigh as much as 1,200 pounds, and that's like 550 kilograms, thereabouts. And a team of professional piano movers is usually required even to move it within your home. If you want to move it from one side of the living room to the other side of the living room, then typically you need a piano mover. And the moving costs can be very high. So all that considered, how do digital pianos compare? Now, digital piano technology has advanced very significantly in recent years. So the best digital pianos are now good enough for even professional pianists to work on, at least some of the time. So this makes them a viable option for serious practice and even preparation for performances. So let's consider their advantages. Now first, you could play with headphones. So one of the most significant advantages of a digital piano is the ability to practice with headphones. You can play at any time of the day or night without disturbing anyone else. So this enables you to enjoy much more flexibility in your practice routine. You can learn new pieces in privacy. So practicing with headphones also offers privacy. So this could be beneficial when you're learning new pieces. You don't have to worry about others hearing your initial efforts, so you can just focus on your progress without feeling self-conscious. Then there are the sounds to consider. So digital pianos offer a variety of sound sets, allowing you to switch between different piano sounds, harpsichords, electronic instruments, and even orchestral instruments. You can't do that on an acoustic piano. So it sounds the way it sounds, and I can't just hit a button and make it sound like some other instrument. So the versatility that digital pianos offer can spark creativity and some experimentation. There's also no real need to worry too much about wear and tear. So unlike acoustic pianos, digital pianos don't have strings, they don't have hammers, and they don't have other components that can wear out over time. So this makes them a low maintenance option. Then there's tuning. So a digital piano stays perfectly in tune because you don't have to tune it. And you can even change the tuning at the push of a button for many models. So this kind of flexibility allows you to experiment with different tuning standards. So there's A440, which is the international concert standard. Then there's A443, which, for example, the Vienna Philharmonic tunes to, so it's slightly higher. But then there's the much lower A415, which is often used for Baroque or early music. There's also portability. Digital pianos are much lighter and more portable than acoustic pianos. You can pack up a digital piano, take it on the road, and even practice in hotel rooms. I have done this on numerous occasions with my Kawai VPC-1, and for me, it has been a real lifesaver. Then there's recording. So many digital pianos nowadays come with built-in recording capabilities, so this makes it easy to capture your performances or your practice sessions. This can be a very valuable tool for self-evaluation and for tracking your progress. There's connectivity. Digital pianos can connect to computers and other devices via USB or MIDI, allowing you to use all sorts of music apps and to record music in a digital audio workstation or DAW. Learning functionality. Features like built-in metronomes, recording functions, and sometimes educational software can help beginners to develop their skills. That said, it's important to note that the built-in learning software is very limited and it's not meant to replace a real course of study with an expert teacher. Then there's hearing to consider. Now, while acoustic pianos aren't generally loud enough to cause hearing damage, if you practice on one for forte, if you're playing very loudly for hours on end, this could be taxing on your ears, and over time that might cause some issues. But a digital piano with adjustable volume can help to protect your hearing during long practicing sessions. All that said, let's now talk about some of the disadvantages to digital pianos. First, there's the action to consider. It's less responsive. So many digital pianos, and especially the lower end to mid-range ones, lack the responsive key action of a real acoustic piano. Now, nothing compares to the feel of a genuine wooden grand piano action. And a lot of the cheaper pianos don't simulate that action at all, and you just press a key, it just does not feel at all like the real thing, and that severely limits their expressive possibilities and the way that they feel when you play them. However, some higher end digital piano models do offer a more authentic action. Often there's no double escapement mechanism. Now, many digital pianos lack the double escapement mechanism that's found in grand pianos. And this mechanism allows for quick note repetition, and it's crucial for advanced playing. So what is the double escapement? So when you play a note on the piano, on a grand piano, a modern grand piano, then you don't have to release the key all the way. You can release it only about halfway past the double escapement point, and then you can press it again, and then you can repeat the key. This is useful sometimes when you're playing, you can play in the key and play trills. For example, it's also useful when you're playing repeated notes. So that allows you to play much faster. If you try to do this on an upright piano, or any piano that doesn't have this double escapement mechanism, then you're not able to repeat the key as fast, and that can limit your playing, especially as you become more advanced. Then there's authenticity to consider. Digital pianos are, at the end of the day, just simulations. So while they continue to improve with each generation, they'll always remain a far cry from the real thing. To me, playing a digital piano is kind of like playing a racing video game instead of driving an actual, like a real sports car on a real racetrack. There's also unrealistic dynamics. Digital pianos can sometimes misrepresent the relationship between how hard you press a key and the volume of sound that it produces. So if I press a key, like very gently, then I get a soft sound. If I press it harder, I get a loud sound. But on a digital piano, this relationship between how hard you press the key and the volume of sound that you get can sometimes be distorted. And this can happen in two ways. So one is called the velocity curve. This is something that on a digital piano determines how hard you need to press a key in order to produce a certain volume level. Now, you can adjust this curve on many pianos, on many digital pianos that is, in order to mimic a heavier or a lighter touch, but it's just an approximation. But on an actual real acoustic piano, the physical weight of the keys varies across the keyboard, so it's heavier down in the bass and it's lighter up at the top. And this is difficult to replicate purely digitally. But that said, the very best digital pianos are much more realistic in this regard, and some of them actually use a genuine grand piano action. Now, the second thing to consider is the volume control. On a digital piano, if you want to play softer, you can just turn down the volume. But there's a downside, and namely that this can lead to less accurate sense of dynamics, which is essential for developing an accurate and a refined touch on an acoustic piano. So on an acoustic piano, one of the most challenging things is to learn to play really softly and to control the sound so that you can play. So you could actually control a very, very soft sound. It's one of the things that really can make you an artist is learning to control a pianissimo touch. But on a digital piano, you can just turn down the volume and then think you're doing it, but you're not quite doing it. So that's something to consider. Then there's the limited lifespan of digital pianos. So compared to acoustic pianos, digital pianos just don't last as long. They can pretty quickly become outdated whenever new models with better features are released, so their value diminishes pretty quickly over time. Now, in conclusion, personally, I think it's a mistake to dismiss digital pianos. I use both. So I have a Kawai VPC1. It has a real wooden grand piano action, so it feels identical to an acoustic grand. So this allows me to practice at odd hours, sometimes early morning, sometimes late at night, and I can learn new pieces without putting too much wear and tear on my Bosendorfer. So using both an acoustic piano and a digital piano allows me to take advantage of the unique properties of each depending on the situation. And I can, as already mentioned, I can actually travel not with a concert grand piano, but I can just pack up a digital piano, put it in a car, drive somewhere, set it up in a hotel room, and then practice there. So that could be a lifesaver for me. Now, not even the best digital piano can compare to a mid-range acoustic piano when it comes to the sound, the touch, and then the overall experience. So if I had to pick just one, there's just no question it would definitely be an acoustic piano. That said, digital pianos do offer unique advantages of their own that can make them a useful tool for players ranging from beginners all the way to professionals. So I hope this helps you to decide, and good luck, and I'll see you in the next lesson.